Ineka. I'm representing Intersect.
Zara Errol, and I'm representing Women of Antigua.
Arita Phillip, National Youth Ambassador. Today we're going to be speaking about women's rights and sexual harassment on this episode of NYAC Youth Chat. So just to give you a background on what women's rights are the rights that promote a position of legal and social equality with men, not to be confused with feminism, which is the advocacy for women's rights on the grounds of equality of the sexes. We know Chimamanda Adichie says that a feminist is a person who believes in the social, political, economic equality of the sexes, and that means that men can be feminists too. So first we're going to start off talking about women's rights, and I wanted to touch on reproductive rights first in Antigua and Barbuda.
You just trying the hard
So why not? Right? And I wanted to touch on women's reproductive rights. As we know, abortion in Antigua is still illegal. It's still illegal. How do you guys feel about that, and what do you think can be done?
While it is illegal, you know, when you talk to people about it being illegal, they're just like, oh, well, people still do it. And I feel like that's irrelevant. I think a major step we could do is take that law off the book, that particular law off the book, and allow women to get an abortion, not just when their lives are in danger, but, you know, when they want to, whenever they want to. By forcing a woman to have a child when she's not ready, when she doesn't want to, she might not be financially ready, she might not be emotionally ready, she might not be psychologically ready. People act like if having a child is like having a puppy, you can't put it outside. It's like in your house crying and demanding of your time and attention, and not everybody is cut out for that. Accidents happen, and yes, there's contraceptives, but we're acting like if everybody has access to these contraceptives.
And contraceptives fail.
And contraceptives fail.
So contraceptives fail. Condoms burst all the time. Yeah, love you.
So they
burst all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're being safe. And for me, part of that too is the whole stereotype and the judgment that comes with it. Mm-hmm. Because you can have women who are practicing safe sex, just like the men who are ramming around the place, but we don't jump on the men. And as part of it too, if a man has the right to have as many sexual partners as he can, guess what? So do you, girl. I mean, hey, do what makes you happy and be safe with it. Exactly. But things happen. At the same time too, I just wanted to backtrack to what you said earlier, that right now on the books, you can have an abortion if your life is in danger. Who makes that decision though?
The doctor.
Okay. But then it's like it's like danger. It's not just danger as in it's life threatening, as if you have the child, what have you. Like, my future your future could be in danger. I'm not saying that your life pauses when you have a child. I would never ever say that, because I know a lot of successful women who...
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you? I know a lot of successful women who've had children, but that's not the reality for everybody.
But what I was gonna say though is that that's legally the only okay time. But we fail to recognize that there are a lot of teenage girls, a lot of underage girls who are gotten pregnant for their fathers, stepfathers, who get pregnant because of incest, rape. You understand? And that is not under book. Mm-hmm. And then we don't think about the psychological damage.
Right.
We don't. You can imagine a 13-year-old girl becoming the mother of a product of rape, or for her father. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, these things happen in Antigua, and we either ignore it, we're not doing enough about it, or because it's some big shot or some public figure, we sweep it under the rug. Mm-hmm. And who is standing up for that young girl? You understand? And for me, that's one of my biggest problems with that particular law, that it is not protecting our children. That's a big, yeah,
for me. I agree with that. One of the abortion bylaws that really bothered me was the fact that even if you get raped, you still have to carry that child. And that bothers me. I don't understand. And the situation is that if the child comes into society, there are no support system or mechanisms to take care of the child. The society does not help to take care of the child, but they want you to have it, and they want you to bear all of those psychological issues. And that's another issue to talk about,
the
because
hypocrisy and the irony is that
Right.
I saw something on Facebook the other day. I can't remember the exact details, but a woman, I can't remember her age, I think had her 14th child or something, and I think
yes,
she went
by a
into
different
Guinness
man or something.
Yeah, for 14
children by a
and there are
different
people
man.
on Facebook who are like, oh, like that's an accomplishment, da 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 da. And I put the comment underneath, I realized nobody commented after that, but I put the comment underneath, like, why judge her? Because if she had 14 different abortions, you'd be calling her a walking graveyard anyway, so it's a lose-lose situation. Have the kid, oh, in this day and age, don't have the kid, oh, she a murderer.
There's so much to say. What about you, Shakira and Kyla? Kyla, I know you've been diagnosed. So go ahead.
Well, a lot has been said by all three of you, but you talk one after the other, and I'm like, oh my, you're saying that. okay.
Jump in.
Go ahead.
But I'm actually coming straight from practice. I'm training some for Teen Splash, and one of the questions that we asked was the same abortion question. What about this law on our books? And he's like, well, this is a young man, 16 years old, and he's like, well, that really shouldn't be there. It's that woman's right to do what she wants to do. And then he's like, what if she's raped? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, you got this one. I don't need to worry about this question when it comes. You got this one. But then think about it. A lot of these things, a lot of these laws we have on our books, we claim to be a Christian society, and all these are there to save our Christianity and everything. But then we're so
Christian
hypocrites
society.
in so many things that we do. It makes no sense. As a woman, if I'm 18. If I get pregnant now, I'm going off to university. I'm not ready for it. So what am I going to do? Forget university, forget my education, forget my future?
Pray about it.
And the Lord will take care of it, right? The Lord will take
I
care
don't
of
even
it.
want to get into that. We try not to bring religion into it because that's just like a spiral somewhere else.
I agree with everything you guys said.
You agree with everything that's been said. Another issue with abortion is that some women are discriminated against because they have abortions, and then there are women who are infertile. And it's very challenging when you're a barren woman to hear about people aborting children. What would you say to those?
I don't think that it's fair for a person who is unable to have a child to put their situation on somebody who does not want a child. Great, you want a child, you cannot have a child. It's a horrible situation for somebody who does want to have a child and they're unable to. But your personal situation has nothing to do with me and me not wanting to have a child. Because I don't hear you volunteering to say, hey, I'll take care of your child. Or, hey, let me adopt your child. I mean, if that's what you're doing and you're saying, it's a different situation, but at the end of the day, a woman's body, I can't even speak from experience, but I've seen like friends and co-workers get pregnant. Your body goes through so many changes. It's not just you host a child and it pops out. There's so many things that happen.
Let me tell you, every time somebody asks me if I'm not gonna have another child, my vagina starts to hurt.
I've been like,
Don't ever forget.
you hear people talk about their back hurts and their feet swell up, there's morning sickness, their mouth always watering. All this compound thing, like why are you going to force somebody to go through all of that
if they don't
want to? If you're going to face that head on and be like, hey, I'm ready for everything. I'm ready for my skin color to change. I'm ready for my feet to get bigger. I'm ready for my bones to move about. Good on you.
But then that's a different thing because society expects women to have children.
But it's not a picnic.
Society isn't even
then
supporting those women, so society can shut their beep mouth.
Yeah.
I said beep. And then and that's the unfair thing though, is that sadly, even though we're in the 21st century, and kudos to the NYAC for continuing dialogues like this, but the truth is we are still living in a patriarchal society, and it's a sad thing, but conversations like this, blogs like Elizabeth's Owen and stuff, that helps to start people thinking and reflecting. And that's one good thing about social media, is that you start to realize, okay, well, this person may not be popular, but I think that she's onto something, or I think like this way too, and you just start the conversations. Because if we based everything on society as a whole, a lot of persons in society are just followers.
Yeah.
They're just followers, they're cowards, no disrespect.
Yeah, but when you have young, impressionable children, you know, it's easy to get a lot of followers, and that's why I think a lot of this discourse is necessary. Because if we don't speak about it, then they'll think that it's okay. If we don't tell them, hey, no, this is not right. You don't have to, you know, lend your body to the state, and they don't have to make your decisions for you.
And then thinking about it, with this law in the books, we have so many persons out there going and doing abortions, and then where they're doing it. Is it the right
Is it
treatment? Is it
healthy?
healthy?
Safe?
They're endangering themselves. And they can't go and say, hey, go to the doctor. And the doctor probably will do it on the books. But then it's being exploited. You're paying how many thousands of dollars to do something when it should be your right to be able to get it, just like me going and getting a shot for whatever the case may be. So just think about that on the whole. We're endangering the lives of our young women just because.
Not only young, you know, a lot of mature women too. So let's break that stereotype. It's not just teenagers or early 20s, young adults who are having abortions. It is adult women, middle-aged women, women who have their careers in front of them. It's not just the teenagers.
Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for your input, and we would love to see you on another episode of NYAC Youth Chat.